The concrete floor is cold, not just cold, bone-penetrating cold that seeps through clothes, through skin, through the certainty of who you thought you were. Les Brown lies on that floor, 41 years old. His office has become his bedroom. Management has delivered a notice. This is not a hotel. Security watches him now. He's a businessman without a business, a politician without a platform, a man who left everything behind to chase something he can't quite name yet. He doesn't use a blanket. He refuses one deliberately. The hardness, the cold, the humiliation, these are his teachers now. He wants the floor to remind him every morning that soft is death, that comfort is the enemy, that somewhere beneath the failure, beneath the shame, beneath the voice that whispers you were never meant for greatness, there's a truth waiting to emerge. This moment will define him, but not how you think. Because 29 years before this floor, there was another floor. They're born on a floor too. Leslie Calvin Brown and his twin brother Wesley, an abandoned building in Liberty City, not a hospital, not a home. Just wood and dust, and the desperate privacy of a woman who cannot keep them. Their biological mother is married to a soldier stationed overseas. These twins are a secret she must bury. 3 weeks after their birth, she makes her choice. 6 weeks later, Mamie Brown, 38 years old, single, a cafeteria cook with little education and less money, adopts them both. She works in kitchens. She cleans houses. She raises 7 adopted children on wages that barely cover rent. But she has something the world doesn't see yet. She has vision for boys who were born discarded. 5th grade. Les Brown is disruptive, restless. His mind moves faster than his body can follow, and his body never stops moving. The teachers notice. The principal notices. A decision is made. He's held back a year. Then comes the label, Educable Mentally Retarded EMR. 3 letters that will follow him through hallways and whispers and pitying glances. His classmates give him a nickname, DT Dumb Twin, not Wesley. Just Les, the one who can't sit still, the one who throws food in the cafeteria, releases pigeons in the school, talks when he should be silent. The label sinks into him. It becomes his identity. It becomes the ceiling above which he cannot rise until one man sees something different. Booker T. Washington High School. Les Brown sits in the auditorium, barely listening. It's a graduation ceremony, and he's just a student watching seniors prepare to leave. Then Leroy Washington takes the stage, a speech and drama instructor with a voice that doesn't ask for attention. It commands it. You are blessed and highly favored, Washington tells the graduates. His words aren't just spoken. They're delivered, sculpted, thrown into the air like lightning. You have greatness within you. If just one of you captures what that means, that you have responsibility to manifest that greatness, you can touch millions of lives. The world will never be the same because you came this way. Something shifts in Les Brown's chest. After the ceremony, he runs through the parking lot. He catches Washington before he can leave. Do you remember me, sir? No. My name is Leslie Brown. My mother works in the cafeteria. I want to be like you. I want to speak like you. Washington studies him. Then he says something that will echo for decades. You can do it, but you've got to work. You've got to practice. And he pauses. Don't ever say you're mentally retarded again. Someone's opinion of you does not have to become your reality. Those words crack something open. They plant a seed. Les Brown begins to imagine himself on stages. He scribbles on pieces of paper. I am the world's greatest orator. He fantasizes about speaking to thousands. But there's a problem. He's a sanitation worker. After high school, he takes a job with Miami Beach's Department of Sanitation. He picks up trash. He empties bins. His adoptive mother is proud he has work, but Les feels the weight of the label still clinging to him. EMR, the boy who wasn't supposed to make it. Then one day, he walks into a radio station, MBM in Miami Beach. He doesn't have an appointment. He doesn't have experience. He doesn't even have a plan. But he has hunger. Mr. Smith, my name is Les Brown. I'd like to be a disc jockey. Milton Butterball Smith, the program director, barely looks up. Do you have any journalism background? No. Sir, do you have any broadcasting experience? No, sir. Then I can't help you. Most people would leave. Les Brown comes back the next day, and the next, and the next. Every single day he walks into that radio station. Every single day Milton Smith says no. But here's what Les does that nobody expects. He starts making himself useful. He brings coffee. He runs errands. He drives disc jockeys to appearances in their Cadillacs without a driver's license. He watches them through the control room glass, studying every move, every cue, every button. He teaches himself the equipment when no one's looking. He's not an employee. He's a student of opportunity. And then one Saturday afternoon, it happens. The disc jockey on air is drunk, Rockin' Roger. He's slurring his words, stumbling through songs. Les Brown is the only other person in the station. He paces outside the control room, watching, waiting. The phone rings. It's the general manager. Young man. This is Mr. Klein. Rock can't finish the show. Call one of the other DJs. Les Brown hangs up. He doesn't call anyone. He calls his mother, he calls his girlfriend, he tells them to turn on the radio, then he walks into that control room, sits down, and speaks into the microphone. This is Les Brown, your platter playing papa. There were none before me, and there will be none after me. Therefore that makes me the one and only. Young and single and love to mingle, certified, bona fide, indubitably qualified to bring you satisfaction. A whole lot of action. Look out, baby, I'm your love man. The phone starts ringing. Not with complaints, with praise. Les Brown has just become a disc jockey. The radio work opens doors. Les moves to Columbus, Ohio, works for WVKO Radio, becomes a broadcast manager. But the station's news director, Mike Williams, sees something more in him. You should run for office. Les laughs. He has no college degree, no political background, no money, but he runs anyway. Ohio House of Representatives, 29th District. Against all odds, he wins. Then he wins again and again, 3 terms. In his first year, he passes more legislation than any other freshman representative in Ohio history. In his 3rd term, he chairs the Human Resources Committee. He's not just a voice anymore. He's a leader. But in 1981, his mother falls gravely ill, food poisoning that nearly kills her. Les Brown makes a choice that shocks everyone. He resigns from the legislature. He walks away from power, from influence, from a path toward even higher office. He goes home to take care of Mamie Brown, the woman who adopted a baby born on a floor in an abandoned building, Miami, early 1980s. Les starts a youth career training program. It's successful, too successful. Jealousy brews, investigations are launched. For a year, authorities scrutinize every dollar, every decision. They find nothing, but the damage is done. His reputation is tarnished. His dream feels poisoned. One day, he meets motivational speaker Zig Ziglar. He learns that Ziglar earns $10,000 for a single 1-hour speech. Something clicks. Mike Williams, his old friend, has been telling him for 14 years, "You should be a motivational speaker." In 1986, Les Brown moves to Detroit. He has his clothes and 1 cassette tape of a motivational speech. He rents an office, shares it with an attorney, and starts Les Brown Unlimited Inc. Then the money runs out. He can't afford an apartment. He sleeps on the office floor. Security delivers the notice. This is not a hotel. He begs for 3 months of free rent, and every night, on that cold, hard floor, Les Brown makes a promise to himself. It's not over until I win. He starts small. Grade. Schools, high schools, civic organizations, prisons, anyone who will listen. He reads books on public speaking. He studies the masters. He refines his voice, his timing, his message. Slowly, the phone starts ringing. Then it rings more. By 1989, the National Speakers Association awards him the Council of Peers Award of Excellence, their highest honor. By 1990, he records a PBS special called You Deserve. It wins a Chicago area Emmy. It becomes the leading fundraising program for PBS stations nationwide. By 1992, Toastmasters International names him one of America's top 5 speakers. By 1993, King World Productions, the network behind Oprah, offers him his own talk show, The Les Brown Show. It runs for 2 seasons. His book, Live Your Dreams, becomes a bestseller. He speaks to Fortune 500 companies, AT&T, McDonald's, Xerox, IBM. He speaks to inmates. He speaks to special education students. He speaks to anyone who needs to hear. Your past does not define your future. By 1998, his company earns $4.5 million annually. The man who slept on a floor now addresses crowds of $80,000. Les Brown's son, John Leslie, is 9 years old. They're playing a game together. Les wins 10 times in a row. He's ready to stop. His son looks at him and says, "It's not over until I win." They keep playing game after game, loss after loss. John Leslie refuses to quit. Finally, he wins. Only then does he go to bed, satisfied. Les Brown realizes this is the philosophy that saved his life. It's not over until you win becomes more than a book title. It becomes a worldview when you're labeled, when you're rejected, when you're broke, when you're sleeping on floors, when management tells you to leave, when security watches you with pity, when the world says you're done. It's not over, not until you win. Brown teaches that failure is not final, it's feedback. Struggle is not a sentence, it's a school. And every setback is simply a setup for a comeback if you refuse to let circumstances define you. He tells audiences, someone's opinion of you does not have to become your reality. He tells them, you have greatness within you. He tells them, if you fall down, fall forward. He tells them what Mamie Brown told him with her life, not just her words. You are worthy of the fight. Les Brown's story is not a rags to riches fairy tale. It's a blueprint for psychological survival. It's a masterclass in resilience engineering. It's proof that the human spirit can outlast any label, any setback, any flaw you're forced to sleep on. He didn't succeed because he was naturally gifted. He succeeded because he was relentlessly hungry. He didn't succeed because doors opened easily. He succeeded because he kept knocking until the door broke. He didn't succeed because the world believed in him. He succeeded because he chose to believe in himself when no one else would. Today, Les Brown is in his 80s. He has 9 children, several of whom followed his path as motivational speakers. He continues to tour the world, Denmark, Canada, Dubai, wherever people need to hear that their story isn't over yet. He still tells the story of that cold floor in Detroit. He still tells the story of the radio station where he wouldn't take no for an answer. He still tells the story of the label that almost killed his dreams, and the teacher who gave him permission to dream bigger, and millions of people in prisons and boardrooms and living rooms and hospital rooms have heard his voice and decided, if he could rise from that floor, maybe I can rise from mine. A baby is born on the floor of an abandoned building, discarded, unwanted, secret, decades. Later, that baby stands on stages in front of tens of thousands. The floor he was born on was not his destiny. The floor he slept on was not his grave. It was the foundation. Every rejection was preparation. Every failure was education. Every label was a challenge waiting to be rewritten. Because Les Brown learned something that most people never do. It's not about where you start. It's not about the hand you're dealt. It's not about the voices that say you can't. It's about the voice inside that says, try again, get up, keep moving. It's not over, not until you win.